Yeah. Oh, we got some of that knot showing, but just the, like, not the knotty part, just the beautiful part. Love it. Why does everyone else's weed always smell way better than your own weed? Is that a thing? That's not blood. No blood. No, it hasn't bled in like a day, but it's like open. Right. So the first step is choosing the lumber or the wood and cutting it. A few different pieces of walnut to choose from. Depends on if you want like straight grain or kind of a mixture. This?
Yeah.
Like a little, kind of something similar to that for a basin or whatever.
Cool.
This was the practice one I made for this project because I was like, well, if I'm gonna do it on camera, I should learn how to do it quick and like you could give your kid a licking with it. I like to take something natural or even man-made, but draw the sheet roughly. So it's for putting into your mouth, not for like stirring a pot or something. I mean, it is kind of short now for stirring a pot. So yeah, maybe it is a mouth spoon. Yeah, so like you could like put half a bowl of soup in this spoon and just work away at it. Shaped the spoon on the Dremel, sanded it kind of at the same process. Okay, I'm gonna get my mask on and we can cut this bad boy out. I knew that was gonna happen. Yeah, no, I just put that blade in and I was having problems adjusting my tightness, so I don't know. Don't really know what I'm doing. Kind of, I don't know what I'm gonna do for the end, but I want it to kind of, like there's only so much arch that you can simulate with a straight piece of wood. If I come down like that, I think I might have to stay up actually. Don't know what I'm going to pull out the handsaw for a couple minutes. Ah! I was also silly a while back, and I'd make miter splines a lot, which is fun. We'll cover that in another video one day. But I didn't wait for my glue to dry, so I just pulled at it and thought, you know what, I'll clean this saw up later. So when I went to use the saw, I didn't realize it was just completely gummed up with gum, glue, sawdust. So we pulled out a better Japanese handsaw. I love the Japanese handsaw. This baby, I keep it pristine, like Christine. That's where Tina came from. X's middle name was Christine, but I thought it was Christina. And I said, Christina, and oh, the look on her face, she was so mad. I said, no Tina? No Tina. So then I started calling her Tina when she was kinky. Could just be super hard because of that funny looking grain too. Stuff like that, it's like all wavy, I think because that's part of the tree where it was like bending and growing other limbs. So it might account for it being harder. Definitely working a little harder than most walnut I've worked with. And we're just gonna sand and chunk away at it until it looks way better. Drop it a few times until it looks way better. The middle is just a little too thin, or not too thin, but thinner than I want it to go. I'm gonna cheat a little, use the drill and just go bzz, bzz. Whoop, some tear out. We were just getting to the gouging out step, and I thought I'd save some time by using a Forstner bit to get a lot of material out of there before the Dremel. And I was silly that day, and I didn't clamp my piece. I just held the little part of the spoon, and away I went, and things went sideways. The spoon broke. Fuck!
Oh, I missed it. You okay? Oh, it broke!
The spoon's broken. Broken piece of the spoon spun around and then got me in between the fingers there, and we had to stop. Just as I was talking about how that's not thin, not too thin. My first spoon injury.
Yeah.
It doesn't kill you, makes you closer to death. So the spoon was no longer a spoon, but we had picked such a nice piece of wood that I didn't want to let this go. So I made, what do you call it? A mortar and pestle? Mortar and pestle. Or like a little cannabis buster, or you could like put oatmeal in there and scoop it into your mouth if you wanted to.
My guy.
I don't know. Scoop some rainwater, like a little hobbit would. Well, you're getting a small hickory spoon, because that's what I have started. We were gonna do a lot more with that Dremel today. Oh well, you live, you learn not to. I mean, this is a prime example, real thin. I didn't mean to go that thin there. And if you can see it bending, that's obviously not a good sign. This guy's gonna be done before we know it. Then I'm not totally sure if this is accurate information, but from what I understand, when you get the wood wet, because it's a spoon, you're probably gonna get it wet, right? Yeah, the fibers will rise up and it won't be nice and smooth anymore, or at least not completely. So after this final grit of sanding, I'll just get it lightly wet and sand it again with the same grit, just to get rid of all those little fibers that might pop up. Because I guess what used to happen, or what happens when people don't do that, like they'll sell someone a cutting board and then within the first day of using it, it's like all grainy again and it's rising up. They're like, what the fuck's this? But if you sand that off, get it wet, let it rise up as much as it wants to, sand it off again. Should stay a lot smoother for a lot longer. I want to see this thing get oiled up. I use like a natural food safe mineral oil, and it's used for like butcher blocks and stuff like that. I like to do a coat of that and then top it off with beeswax. Oh, they both accomplish the same purpose. I just like how shiny the wax makes it a little glossier. Yeah, when it starts to get dull looking, just oil it back up, wax it back up, it'll be fine. Butthole utensils. A 4-piece hickory cereal spoon set, I believe, for eating Sugar Crisp cereal. Yep, can't get enough of that Sugar Crisp. If you just like hold it in there, with your finger under there, I don't know, until you get something big. No, it's like, it's natural resistance in there. No, I broke it. You can't have anything nice. Spoon, power carving spoon video complete. Stay tuned for something with miter splines. So it's got to be a box of some sort. This little plywood and stump is where I started chopping my first spoon. Just had a piece of wood and I was chipping away at it. That didn't work out too well.